I'm Paul Carey. This is Galaxy Note 8.0 review. And yes, Galaxy Note 8.0 dual sticks, as you This is the Samsung Galaxy Note 8.0, so this is a tablet and a phone in one. So let's take a look at this particular model and get through our thoughts of this entire review. So I'll leave you, without further ado, the review. Cheers. What's a very nice addition to the Galaxy Note 8.0 is the smart cover that comes with it. This is a black one. As you can see with the 3G model, it's very good because you have the earpiece here, so you can actually dial the number and have this shut while you're on the call, so you're not fiddling about. But let's take a look here. If we go straight into the main system here, so this is running Jelly Bean 4.1.2, Samsung's official obviously software over the top of it, which is TouchWiz, and as you can see, it runs flawless with that quad-core processor that is currently set on here with the 2 GB of RAM. So there is no trouble whatsoever. And with this TouchWiz, obviously you have all your settings up here, all accessible from the notification window. Various other features include, of course, multi-window support, so you can view 2 applications at once, as you can see right here. I have eBay and Instagram up, and you can resize these as much as you like, as you can see right here. This is awesome because very few Android tablets, well actually Samsung tablets, are the only ones that can do this. So if we want to get rid of one, we can cancel. Let's try another application which is really useful. So let's try the internet, and we'll put up music as well. So if we wanted to, we can swap a location on the screen. You can view both sides in landscape as well, and do both things at once. So if we close out of those, various other Samsung features, as most of you know if you're familiar with Samsung, is in the TouchWiz interface you have things like Smart View, which basically will see or will check with the camera up here every couple of minutes if you're still viewing the screen. So that is a brilliant feature, because then you don't have to set the timing up, and regardless if you're in the dark, or actually in the dark it's not so good. That's one thing I've noticed with the Galaxy Note. It works great in great lighting, the Smart Stay, but doesn't work as good at night. Smart Stay can't see you, so it depends on your lighting conditions, but most of the time it does work very well. The other thing we have here is obviously the Smart Remote, which is a brilliant application. This is, I believe, replaced on the S4 with Watch On, but you can program any type of device and be able to view it, and have obviously multiple locations, and you can select the remote functionality as well, and this works a treat with the IR Blaster. I will demonstrate that soon. The main feature, obviously, with the Galaxy Note 8.0 is the fact that it's a Galaxy Note and you have the S Pen. Now this has multiple functions when you're using it besides writing. It is a great text tool without any shadow of a doubt. So if I go into any note here, so we'll go into a regular note. I'll bring that up. I'm going to write something directly to it. So we'll try hello. Whoops. Yep. Let's try that again. And let's get the right function. Hi. Works really well. And text to writing works really well as well. So we can try you can see right there, it copies it straight in. And your text comes out brilliantly. Now most of the time it does work as long as you write clearly. It does understand cursive, but most of the time you're better off writing in plain printed English. Now it is actually faster to write on this tablet than to actually type on the keyboard. So I will say that. Brilliant features also we have here is that we can take screenshots with the S Pen. So with the button over here, we can now go and take a screenshot of that. Boom. And basically it allows you to then down the bottom here, add it to any type of application. That's one of the many functions with the S Pen. Now, if you're familiar with Notes, S Pen is the way to go. Alright, let's test out a little bit of music. I've got the volume fully up here. Let's test a little bit of music. You can see it's pretty bassy and pretty loud. Now another good feature of the Samsung is obviously the display, so I can adjust the brightness a little bit down for this video. And we can now go into display and we can go into display mode settings. Now like all Samsungs, you can actually change the display mode to anything you want. So in this case we're going to try movie. Changes the screen brightness there, and now we can actually go into Google Movies. I've got a few movies in here, so we can select movie here. We'll try Up. This is a full this is a HD movie from Google Movies. See, the quality looks pretty good, as you can see in the specific screen mode. So that's Up, playing Google Music. So there's multiple movies you can play here, depending on that. So screen mode is very useful right there. So we can also use a different mode called dynamic mode. Now, particularly it's a more color spread, so it's more vibrant. So you can use it, I guess, for photos if you really want something to pop. You can actually use a dynamic screen mode there, and standard mode obviously gives you the basic color set. Now reading mode is awesome. You can actually set specific applications to your reading mode. So if we go into, obviously, I've set it to Google Books as well as various other ones. So I'm going to go into, why not? Let's go into the Steve Jobs one. Right, so this is a specific reading mode. As you can see right there, the screen has been adjusted so you can see it. Now from the camera point of view, I don't think you can actually see that difference, but it gives you the ability to look at it at a plain view. The brightness is not too bright, the text just pops, even though the resolution is not that high yet. It's still relatively nice on the eyes to read, as you can see right there. I've got this set also for Google Magazines, so if I wanted to go into Google Magazines, I could see the same thing happen again. It changes the screen, as you can see, the colour difference. Obviously you've got to see this in person to realise it, so if I transfer that into View Text mode, and the View Text mode, it formats it nicely for you in a decent reading mode. So yeah, that's reading mode, as you can see right there. Let's talk phones. Now, phone functionality here, this is the unique feature of this tablet. So let's test a call.
Bank. Since this is the first time you've used Telstra Message Bank, please take a minute to set.
As you can hear, the call quality for speaker comes out loud and crisp. So, in terms of phone ability, with your when you want to actually talk, there's the speakers at the top there and the proximity sensors. So basically, when you want to be walking down the street with an 8-inch tablet strapped to your head, this is basically what it's going to look like. Now, yeah, you're probably not going to want to do that. Let me just say, everyone's going to pretty much take the mickey out of you if you even want to have a tablet at your face. Alright, camera quality. Let's take a look at the Galaxy Note's camera. Now the camera is very unique, as all Samsung devices are. They have a preference to multiple features you can have, but in this case it's very simplistic. You have your camera switch, you have your reverse camera switch, which will take you to the front camera. You also have all your little settings for panorama, single shot, share photo, and various other things that Samsung put into their tablet photos. So pretty much, let's have a look at some of the photos this thing can take. So you can see a lot of the features here. We've got geotagging, we've got all the main features you would see in most cameras today, including a peripheral for effects, including all the effects and everything like that you can even put in. But if we can look at video, you'll see a few examples here of how good that is in a few seconds. As you can see, that's video quality in full 720p. So that's video. Okay, I thought I would run a few benchmarks. I'm actually going to zoom in here. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to run a few benchmarks here. So I've got SmartBench, Quadrant, Geekbench, and GL Benchmark. Let's try the Geekbench score first. Alright, so you can see right here it's a Samsung N5100. It's running Android 4.1.2 and it's running a quad-core 1.6 GHz processor with 2 gigs of RAM. So let's run benchmarks. Alright, so the Galaxy Note 8.0 gets 2101 as you can see right there. Just to give you some context, the the HTC One M7 gets about 2,900. So that gives you a rough idea exactly on the performance of this particular tablet. But then again, we can actually tell you that the Nexus 10 is probably around the same or less, possibly. So we're looking at pretty damn good speeds here, if you want to look at that point. Alright, so let's, I'm just going to clear a few apps. Okay. Let's now run Quadrant. Full benchmark. Okay, so you can see it gets about 6,709, so it's just above the HTC One if you compare it to that. It's also way above the Transformer Prime TF201. The Samsung Galaxy Tab, well, pretty much everything beats the Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1. And then we've got the Samsung Galaxy Nexus, which is a phone down the bottom there, and it doesn't actually beat the Nexus 10, so it's not even in the list, so there you go.
Alright, that's a review. If you feel like looking at the gaming performance of the particular tablet, click on the annotation at the top here, or actually click on the link in the description. Okay there guys, I'm Paul Carey and I'm signing off. Cheers.